Welcome back to Rhythm and Roads, everyone. I'm your host, Joshua Jacob. We have a very special band with us. We have Calidad from El Paso, Texas. Welcome, guys, to Rhythm and Roads.
Thank you, man. Thank you, Josh. Thank
Oh,
you for
yeah,
having
man.
us.
Pleasure to have you on. Good to know your story. So, welcome. Now, if each of you want to go ahead and introduce yourselves and what you do in the band, we can start there.
I'm Matt. I sing and I play bass. I'm Javi. I play the drums. And then Paco, I sing and I play guitar.
You sing and you play the guitar. Cool, man. And who's the one that does a lot of the songwriting?
It's definitely a mix for sure. So it's definitely us two. Now, granted, well, I'm sure we'll get into this a little
Yeah.
bit later.
Okay.
Javi just joined the band last year, so Calidad has been a project that we've had for 2, 3 years now.
Oh,
So it
wow, that long.
just
Okay.
depends on the song. Most of the times, like a lot of you can tell which songs he's written and which songs I've written.
Yeah.
But like he'll give me ideas and we just kind of collab. I think are the songs that we usually close with are the ones that were written like in the garage, like sessions. But most of the times it's us sending ideas and then we kind of they just go from there. Yep.
Okay, man. Yeah. Well, let's start on the story of the band, how it all started. So you said this was already about 2 to 3 years in that the band started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paco said this yesterday. It's kind of funny. So I know we're on a little time frame, but like the story of us is like we could tell you 2 minutes or 2 hours. So I'm gonna go with the 2 minute one. Really long, really long story short.
Oh,
We've known each other from playing in bands like previous years, and it was after COVID when like all the lockdown all the what do you call it, the restrictions were kind of
yeah.
like really we can go to people's houses.
Okay.
It started off as just us jamming again, and we hadn't played music in like 6 years. And it
Whoa,
started off
six
with us
years?
just jamming, yeah, because we used to play
Wow.
in the scene back in the day. And it was just started off with us just writing, well, playing Blink 182 covers actually, and then
Oh,
it turned
Blink
into writing.
182? Heck yeah, man. Wow.
It was just us like having fun. It was post COVID. We were bored
Yeah.
and we wanted to play music again. And little by little, we started writing songs, introduced a couple of other people throughout the years. And then, long story short, now we're here. But yeah, it's been hard because we've gone through like two different drummers.
Okay.
And and the thing is too, Josh, I think, it showed like determination from us and myself and Matt because it just felt like at some point, this thing wasn't gonna happen, Calidad wasn't gonna happen.
Mm.
And just Javi came in the picture. So we're just at this point, we're just trying to take advantage of the opportunity that we have
Yeah.
of having that third person. Because really it was really just Matt and I for the longest time, man. So like just
Wow.
having, Javi and then him being the drummer is just such a blessing. So
Yeah.
right now we're just focused on playing shows, putting on music, and whatever's to come for Calidad, we're ready for it, man. So
Dang.
yeah,
Well, when I first saw you guys, which was at that performance with Valiant Blues,
yeah, shout
I
out.
just I remember mentioning to you too that little practice session you guys did, like that song you guys played. I was like, "Are you guys gonna play that during the show?" You're like, "No, I don't think so." And I was like, "No way!" Like that song was so good, man.
Thanks, man. It's funny, our first show, our first request, and we didn't even play it right. Sorry about that, Josh.
I was actually looking forward to hearing that. I was like, "Damn it, man! You're not gonna play that?"
For
But you
sure,
guys
next
sound good, yeah.
time we'll play it. Yes, for sure, man. Thanks.
Well, what was the name of that song, by the way? The one you guys were, I don't know if you remember when you guys were practicing.
What do you call it now? We got, well, I mean, it's funny because like we have songs, right, and we know how we know them, but it might not be for the public. But
Oh,
we call
okay.
it Rolame, but it might change. But I guess for now it's Rolame. So
Okay.
yeah, right now, yeah. To give you like a little quick idea where we're at, kind of, we have about like 10 to 12 songs. Like we've had like 2, 3 years worth of songs. The
Really?
unfor-
Wow.
the unfortunate thing is that it was like learning them with one drummer for like 6, 7 months, and then learning them with another drummer, and then
Hmm.
should we go into recording? So we only have two songs out right now.
Yeah.
So it was just like going back and forth. Should we record? Should we learn with the new drummer? So most of our songs don't have official names until they're out on like Spotify.
I
So
see.
it might change, but
Yeah. And you know what's funny? I guess a big thing of the history of Calidad too is I don't think we would be here if certain people left, right? But because I mean I remember we talked about it too, Josh, but I know that you were a drummer, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So I remember when I talked to you real briefly outside of the gallery, the music gallery.
Yeah.
I mentioned it briefly, but I actually, when Matt and I were jamming, I was actually the drummer.
yeah,
So
it
Oh,
was
you were the
actually
drummer. Oh, wow.
I
Okay.
drummer.
trust me, it's a 2 hour story.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying, like, just keeping it short. I ended up just for us to try to, keep music going, to, play shows, have like kind of like something to look forward to in the weekends. I ended up, picking up the guitar. I'm not really a singer, but I'm doing it just, I mean, this happened.
Yeah.
Javi's here and we're here, man. So
Oh,
we're super stoked for
Yeah.
what's
yeah.
coming.
No, yeah, I do remember that conversation. I'm really look forward to hearing more of your songs out on Spotify. And that's the thing you mentioned you have about 10, 12 songs already that you guys I'm like, well, like so what is the reason why a lot of them are not out yet? Like
Yeah,
on
can you say
Spotify. Like on Spotify. How come a lot of the songs are not out yet on Spotify just to ask?
2 reasons?
I'm one of the reasons.
No,
Just
well,
learning for right now for me.
yeah, to be fair, we're at a weird point in the band where he's already gotten the whole set down,
Oh, okay.
but we've been in a band with him for a year, and we have yet. I think yesterday was our first time we ever tried writing new music.
Oh, really?
But
Okay.
it was really, yeah, it was really like at one point, it was always me and Paco, and where we record is at my place. I have like a little home studio,
Oh, do
so
you?
we
Very cool.
we recorded there. And once we have with our personal lives, we only have time for like maybe 2, 3 times a week to, like
Uh,
catch up to each other.
okay.
So it was either we either practice with a new drummer and teach it the songs or record. And so we just went with practicing. I think for the show that you went to,
Yeah.
we had been practicing for that one for like 6 months. We only played like 7, 8 songs.
Yeah.
But it was like really like he didn't know the songs at all. So it was like it was like 6, 7 months of relearning the entire set. So, but I think now that he knows, we're actually gonna go record after this. We're hoping to have a song within the next month.
Really?
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
We're actually gonna go record vocals after that. I don't want to put a time frame on myself, but
We'll let
two,
you
three
know.
weeks.
Yeah, we'll
2, 3
let you
weeks.
know.
Yeah, keep me updated on that. Yeah. Well, I look forward to hearing some more songs out, man. Yeah, and I hope it does work out to release some this year.
Thanks.
What about some shows? Any shows coming up?
We have a couple in July that we're trying to get some confirmation with.
Okay.
Genuinely, we had told ourselves if we don't have anything booked right now, we're going into recording. The goal right now is to at least have 3 to 4 songs by the end of the summer.
Okay. Hey, that's good. That's a good goal.
Those, yeah, and because it was just kind of like our Achilles heel. Unfortunately, it's like, well, we have to if we're gonna be in a band, we have to learn how to play shows. So that's first, and it's like now that thing is checked off. Now it's time to record. So we're just starting. That's why we're excited to do this actually too. So as we get to like share our story.
Yeah,
and
man.
make
Yeah.
yeah.
And so the way that it starts with, for those that don't know really how to bring out the songs and all that songwriting, I mean, what's your guys' style? How do you go about it to kind of like get the song moving and just kind of collaborating with each other?
I
Like,
think
how
it's
would you
kind
guys?
of yeah. And that's hard to interrupt, but
No, no, go ahead.
yeah, I guess the process usually how it goes, and it's funny because it's how Matt said it. You can tell if it's something that's more influenced from myself or Matt.
Okay.
But the way it works is, and I bring like an idea to Matt, and that's the thing about the band too. I guess we're learning how to work with each other, right? So like I've learned, with Matt is that okay, my role in the band is I can like give you tons of ideas,
Mhm.
and then with that it's like okay, I like that one, I like this one. This one has potential. Let's see what we can do with that, right? So with that we kind of work on it, and then that's how most of the songs come up.
Yeah, unfairly, like I think Javi will now that we're in the recording process, he's starting to add like his drum fills. A lot of the
Okay.
drums, like he's the drummer, I can play drums. There was a lot of times where when we were writing songs back in the day, like we would lose a guitarist or we would lose a drummer. Like
Uh,
we all play different
You
instruments.
just switch
So just for
around.
the sake of writing songs, we would flip back and forth. Like I'd grab the bass, he'd be on drums, and then vice versa, I'd be on drums.
yeah,
But if for the most part, I would like to say like I more like produce like the songs, and then we record at my house too. So, but I
that's
think
cool, man.
everybody has like a
Thanks, man.
we, and then the thing that helps is that we all like the same type of music.
That does
Like for the
help.
most part, like Javi and I have a more broader,
I live under a rock for sure.
yeah.
Like,
You know,
but bands, bro, you know. But
so, for the most part, we all like the same, and like our sounds just kind of like a mix of everything too. So we don't try to be anything but ourselves. Aye, aye.
Well, yeah, and I feel like that's important for the band to have that chemistry, that energy of when you're creating a song, to have that similar style at, you know what I mean? Because if you're in a different realm of different stuff, I feel like sometimes from my experience, it just doesn't flow at times. You're just like, well, I like this. Well, I prefer this. But if it's both working together, trying to adjust, but you both enjoy the same music, then that helps out, right?
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
for
It
me,
did,
if I, yeah, so go ahead.
yeah, it did help being in a band together before, at least Matt and I.
I can be pretty bossy.
Yeah, so it was easy to work, or it's easy to work with him now since I kind of know what to expect. For Paco, I mean, we used to play shows together all the time. We had practice sessions together with the different bands. So
Yeah,
the chemistry
that's always
isn't the problem. But, I mean, I guess wouldn't be a problem just because we know each other so well.
Yeah. Well, I want to start with Paco on this. All right. So let's start with Paco and then work our way down. So, Paco, what's your story and how you got started as a musician? Because what you do with the band? Say it again. What you do for the band?
oh, I mean, I sing and I play guitar.
Okay. So, at what age growing up did you get that inspiration to want to become a singer, to play the guitar? Like, what did it for you to give that spark?
Yeah, that's a good question, man. So I grew up, I mean, my family is like my dad's uncles, my dad, my grandpa. I mean, everybody is a musician.
Oh, wow. Okay. Runs in the family.
Yeah, right. So I mean, and with that being said, so I grew up, always watching them play. They had like a giant orchestra that they played, and my grandpa or my Nino, he's the one that basically was in charge of it. So I grew up going to their concerts, and it was kind of like the norm, like I was around music.
Hmm.
So like it's always been kind of part of my life. But when I started kind of like taking interest is kind of like when I was like around 12, 13. I kind of just picked up a guitar, looked up, on Ultimate Guitar tabs. I was learning how to
back in
read
the day.
tabs and
Jesus.
stuff, right? Like
Yeah.
back in the day. So, I learned how to play like Nirvana, Blink-182, like things like
Oh,
that.
cool,
And
man.
yeah, and it just kind of took off from there. And again, like we grew up listening to the same bands. I was in orchestra, I was in bands on the side, things like that. So it's just kind of like something that's been part of my life. So, in the end of the day, like Calidad was kind of like the big picture. It was just something for us to do on the weekend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just something to have like a hobby, like therapy, you know what I mean? But like
Oh.
now we're at a point that I feel like we're taking it serious.
Hmm.
We're trying to see where it goes, and yeah, we're super excited for that. But that's a little bit of my background, Josh.
Oh, well, thank you for sharing that. Appreciate that.
For sure.
And then you, Javi?
Well, unlike him, my parents no music, no nothing. But my sister, she was like on the drum line. She was percussionist, so I
Oh,
kind of
wow.
always liked that. I actually started off by playing bass,
Oh, you
went
did?
to get and ended up at drums. So I was like, man, I just want to hit something. But yeah, I needed to let out that angst.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was not around music as much, but I did listen to, like Bush and Third Eye Blind, In Sync in there. So I had that little bit of pop and like this rock. But
Can I
I
say
mean, I just ended there.
Can I say a quick thing about his like I guess like start? So I was trying to start a band for the longest time in high school. Long story
Okay.
short,
Yeah.
and I had a class with him sophomore year, and I was like, I think he played drums. And I was like, I messaged him, and then I got caught on the phone with my teacher, and I was
Yeah.
like, "It's a emergency. Can I please go?" Sorry, it is. So I'm in the hallway, and I ended up running into him. I was like, "Hey, dude, I'm actually trying to text you. You want to start a band?" So he's like, "Yeah, I'm down." So I
Oh,
was like, "You're in high school,"
That's
and
fun.
that's I guess how you started.
that's funny.
At least playing live, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow, so you
Did
guys
you?
go back to high school then, huh?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
back. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting, because with Javi playing bass, it actually also like with being a drummer, it goes along with each other because it's all rhythm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've heard
Gotta
that before.
gotta follow it.
Yeah, that's cool. I've actually wanted to learn bass because for that reason.
Oh,
Whole
cool.
music genre, just drum and bass.
Yeah,
I mean,
drum and bass, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not mixed.
Well, thanks for sharing, Javi. Yeah. And what about you, Matt?
So as far as me, I've been playing music since about like I would say fifth grade.
Fifth? Yeah.
Uh, but how do you say? I think Blink-182 is the reason I picked up a guitar. Like, my dad had put me in some like guitar lessons,
Okay.
and I did that for about like 2, 3 months, and I was able to pick it up really quick to the point where I was like, I stopped wanting to learn like theory and
Mm,
like chord stuff, and I just wanted to play like covers, as typical 12, 11-year-old kid would. And I just started writing songs instead, instead of like learning how to play guitar. Um,
that's cool.
but no, eventually, like I just always ended up like having like a heart for music.
Hmm.
So I play like a little bit of piano. The crazy thing is like we all well, probably can kind of dabble on guitar, but for the most part, like we all play different instruments. So I've bass, ironically, was the first instrument, but I'm actually a true guitar player. I actually would say I'm a guitar player.
Yeah. All
Ironically,
right.
he played guitar,
And I'm a drummer, like
yeah,
it's crazy.
and if anything, he played bass in orchestra. So kind
Yeah.
of weird. So like I do like my own solo stuff and like
Okay.
solo projects. But naturally, I'm a guitar player. But
Oh,
no, like since I was like like I would say about fourth or fifth grade, I've started playing guitar, and then it was just like one instrument after the other, just little by little.
well, good for
Yeah,
you, man, that you were learning different instruments and yeah. So the first is definitely guitar. Yeah.
yeah,
What is
yeah.
it? Okay.
First was guitar, and then I actually love playing drums. Like I
You
think
really?
drum.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm not the best drummer, obviously, but enough to where back in the day where we had to like
It's
write
therapy,
drums.
bro.
Yeah,
You
I'm
had
not
to
sure.
fill in. Yeah.
But I think for
Yeah.
Calidad, I like playing bass.
Cool, man.
So I love playing bass.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing, Matt. Well,
Yeah.
let's get into the songs that you have. D-Man, right?
Mm.
Yeah. So what's the story behind the song?
It was actually one of at least for the guitar part, the introduction to the guitar part, it's like one of like a recycled ideas that I've had.
Okay.
As far as the lyrics, the thing is, we didn't really say, which we probably should now. When we first started the band, Paco and I wanted to make sure that it had been to like honor our grandparents. So we want to do English and Spanish with
Oh,
no
okay.
really songwriting. Now in Dime, it's English and Spanish.
Okay.
Essentially, I think that's the one that I wrote kind of fully, Dime, and we collabed on vocals on that one. But as far as who it's about, it's about whoever you want it to be about.
Where you want it to be?
Songs, yeah, for songs, Josh. I mean, it's not to sound corny or like sappy things like that, but especially when it comes to, I guess, like honoring like those like loved ones. We
Mm,
just kind of like to write in a general aspect, but it's really kind of like a love song. So I guess that's kind of how I would see it. Dime means tell me. So
mm,
like the lyrics could kind of be like interpreted in that way.
mm.
But yeah, I guess in the end of the day, that's just why we write about. It's kind of like a general aspect of how to honor those people that you love. So that's most of the lyrics that we write.
Okay.
Obviously, we write about our girls too, but and so it could relate to that too, So, but yeah,
The funny
Yeah.
thing though is when Javi joined the band, I had showed him the song, right? And I was like, oh, by the way, if you at the end of the song, there's like a little break or breakdown, whatever you want to call it. That was like a recycle from our old band. Like
Wow,
that
is that
idea.
right?
was like, hey, surprise, we're using it. Yeah.
Oh, knowing you said you write these songs also inspired, or you write it for your ladies as well. So it's like kind of like, all right, this is the rules that they're giving you. If you're gonna be a band, you got to write songs about us.
No, I have. Listen, I'm gonna take the mic.
I just,
I had, I've had discussions. All like at one point we're public figures, but no, I think they know. Is that we're gonna write about what we want to write about,
yeah, right.
and I think you've interviewed plenty of artists, so I'm sure they might agree. But we try not to force our art. Any kind of art shouldn't be forced.
Oh, I
It
totally
should
agree.
come
Yeah.
natural. It should come natural. I'm not trying to write a song about anything. I'll be honest with you, so I'll share a little secret. In B Man, there's a song that's like, "There's nothing like you." Uh, there's like nothing in this world like you, and that a lot of times people think it's like about somebody like a particular person, but it's actually about alcohol. So
Wait, really?
it's a no,
Oh, wow.
granted, yeah. So it's kind of open to
It's like general.
interpretation.
Yeah, it's like general.
That's kind of how we write our lyrics,
Oh, wow.
but it's
Okay.
yeah, it could be a struggle with something.
Mm.
Yeah. So with that said, it's like, hey, we're gonna write about what we write about. If you don't like it, I'm sorry.
And that one is a little vague. I guess you're gonna ask about Rutina next. So that one is definitely more appropriate for like a love song.
Yeah, love song.
Okay.
Yeah. Your theme is more kind of like a general. You could kind of like see it in your own view.
Oh,
But
okay.
I know that you're probably gonna ask about Rutina. So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
one
Doing his
definitely
job.
right. Right. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to do your job for you. But
Hey, it's good to transition. Just go ahead. Yeah, that's fine, man. We'll go into the
yeah,
next one.
appreciate that. And yeah, Rutina is definitely more like a love song for sure. Rutina means Google
Routine.
Translate routine, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
routine.
Google Translate routine. So it's
Okay.
like you want this girl to be part of like your daily routine type of stuff, you know. So
Mm.
that's definitely a love song. It's funny because when I technically kind of wrote the whole thing, but
Okay.
then Matt just came in and he's like, "Hey, like try it this way, right? Like this sounds more like a ballad."
Okay.
And then I did it, and then it just basically clicked.
That song was supposed to be like a faster, funkish kind of song, and then I was like, nah. I was like, gotta slow it down.
Yeah, and that's how Rutina can be. Yeah, again, that's definitely like a love song.
Mhm.
For somebody that wants, that you want them to be part of your daily routine. But yeah,
All right. Well, thanks for sharing, Paco.
yeah, man.
So what's for those that are getting to know Calidad, what is it that you want I guess the listeners to I guess know of like I guess every band has its own like signature style of music. Like what do you want the listeners to feel about you guys? Like, oh, when like what is it you're trying to portray Calidad?
You
Oh,
know, to be completely fair, Paco and I, when we started this, we always wanted the aesthetic to represent El Paso,
oh, okay.
Latino
Mm.
culture. That's why we do both English and Spanish. You know
Okay.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Border town, border music. I just came up with that on the spot.
Oh, write that down. Don't forget it.
We want to.
I'm sure, dude.
No, my thing is, well, we really we started off playing pop punk music. Then obviously when you come to our shows and listen to the songs that we'll be
Yeah.
putting out, obviously it's nothing like that, but we want like I hate to be so cliche, but we want good vibes.
Mm.
Like we're playing on weekends. We want people to go there off of work, have a great time. If
Yeah.
enjoy a night out. So that's kind of the vibe we want. We want people to know us for. Like we
Okay.
want people dancing, moving, enjoying their drinks.
That's why we don't stick to like any genre. Like the song of I have an idea, Matt has an idea. It sounds good. It doesn't have to stick to reggae. It doesn't have to stick to like rock. It doesn't have to
Emo
stick
or
to
anything, yeah.
emo, things like that. So as
Okay.
long as it clicks, again, we're not forcing it,
Right.
right? So we want to kind of like express the art, see what happens, and then just have fun with it. And then I think when you have fun with it, people are gonna vibe with it. So that's really what we want to do.
Yeah, and then the goal for sorry to interrupt you, man.
No, go.
The goal for for us is like we have a bunch of music we want to release into the world, but mostly just for our city too. Like we have big kind of like goals that all relate to the city. Like there's venues we want to play, shows we want to play, and
Scratching up for bucket list, man.
yeah, literally just checking off. We're like we do this as a hobby that we're really kind of like passionate about
And
and
just
taking it
blessed.
serious.
Yeah, just blessed.
No, yeah.
So
No, I was gonna say I'm glad that you guys take this seriously, but yeah, and I totally agree on not rushing songwriting or your music at all. One of the greats out there like David Bowie and of course Tom DeLonge from Blink 182 and Angels and Airwaves, like but
oh
like
yeah,
a lot of these great artists from the beginning, like Brian Ferry from Roxy Music, from like bands that I've looked up to, U2 and all that. Like for me, I feel like it's like you for great music to come out, and I'm just sharing from what I've seen from experiences or hear interviews. You really do need to take your time with it, no rush, because if you rush it and then some of us listen to it, we're just like it's not doesn't sound like this other album that you brought out a year ago, you know? And then it's very interesting how certain artists bring out albums almost every year or every other year, and you're just kind of like, God, it sounds rushed. But then if you take 2 to 3 years for one album and you hear the quality and you hear the way it sounds, you're like, whoa, like almost every song on that album's a hit. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think it's good to just take your time. You know, if you need to change some stuff up, it's okay. You know, the fans will always be there. They're not like, what's going on? You know? So I don't know if you want to add to that.
the to add to that, our approach at least right now is we've kind of dabbled on the idea of doing like an EP,
Mm.
maybe a 3 to 5 song EP.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
we have enough material for an album,
Okay.
but I think at this rate, like I said, for Calidad, it's unfortunately it's one or the other. We can either practice or record.
Okay.
So while we're um, playing shows, we're going to be recording, and we're not really focused on releasing like a body of work.
Okay.
So we're going single by single. Hey, we're
That's
going
fine. Single by single.
single by single to also take that load off of not forcing anything,
Yeah.
focusing on one song at a time versus I'm trying to finish 5 songs by December. So
Right.
let's try to hurry up. It's just I'm putting all effort. By the way, I produce our music, so it's like I try not to force like the pressure of like oh we need to release something
Yeah.
ASAP. So
That's good. I'm glad you guys have that, I guess, agreement that we're not going to force nothing, pressure anyone. Just let it flow, like Paco said. Just let it flow. Try, just have fun with it. That's important. Have fun with it, because of it. Yeah. I mean, yes, it's also a business when it comes to that point, but I think the most important is having fun, enjoying it. Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
definitely.
for the viewers to find you guys on Spotify, on Instagram, what's the links?
It's gonna be at calidad.ep. And I'm gonna as soon as we release the song, making a TikTok and it'll all be the same.
Okay.
So it'll calidad.ep.
Nice. And then you said as of right now, there's no future show at the moment.
We're waiting on a confirmation for 4th of July,
Oh,
July
cool.
7th.
All
July
right.
7th. We're waiting for confirmation of a venue. So
Oh,
yes,
okay.
yeah. So yeah, it's just a matter of where the venue is going to be at, and then we'll obviously post it on our Instagram page.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. And Paco, I really appreciate you, brother, for coming on and sharing your part because I mean, each of you have your own passion, your own story, your own what you can give to the band, and I feel like each one of you has a purpose why you're here to do what you do. And I'm glad that you're living what you do. You're doing what you love, you're writing songs, you're performing, and that's important, and I like that. And that's why I have Rhythm and Roads to give a platform to those that want to share their songs, share their voice, share what they are doing to inspire other musicians, other people in El Paso, other people that might see you and they'll hear your story. They'll be like, well, dang, like I want to do that. I want to start a band. I want to be like Paco. I want to be like Javi. I want to be like Matt. I mean,
And
each of you have your own inspiration, your own light of inspiration to give. So,
I mean, and you too, though, because we had just had a brief conversation before this. It's like the world is so ugly right now. that it's just like we need to be doing what we love with who we love, and like you're giving us a platform for other people. And I'm sure you love what you do too, so that's cool, man.
Oh,
And
well,
then I
thanks,
guess
man.
people that are listening, man, like just like you said it, and it's funny because like 2 years ago, Matt and I like we just got together on the weekends and just played covers, played music, and then now we're here talking to you, man. So
Yeah.
it's just such a
There you go.
blessing.
Yeah.
Uh, and yeah, just thank you so much for having us, man.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
it's
been
Oh
been
yeah,
awesome.
awesome.
man. Yeah, just yeah, guys, keep it going. Don't give up and be that light. I like I said, I was there. I heard your music, loved it. So you guys have something really good going on. So just keep it going, man. The everything, all
So
the stuff that will happen unexpectedly. You know what I mean? So
thank you.
yeah, it just like with me, I don't sometimes I if I over obsess with it or try to rush it or figure it out to a point where it's consuming me, that's not good. Sometimes you need to let go. Sometimes you do your part and then you let go and you let God or who would you believe in do the rest because that's what faith is about. It's like, okay, I did my part. I've put my action in. Now let it flow, let it happen. And the greatest moments that I've experienced is when I've done my part, done my action, put my faith, then there's doors that will open and then there will be doors that will close. But those doors that close is not meant to put you down and be like, well, I guess this is not meant for us. I guess this is not meant for the band. No, those doors are rerouting you to where you need to go in your life. It's like the life already knows the future of where you're going to be at. So it's rerouting you to where you need to go. So if there's ever disappointments from venues saying, hey, sorry, we can't, da 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 da, all right, that's fine. Close up, next venue, next venue. You have that mentality, next venue. And then there's gonna be that one that's gonna be like, yeah, come on. That's how it goes, man. Just overcome the it's this it can be discouraging at times. I've been through it. Getting some certain artists that say, "Oh, I can't," or no reply. But you have to have the mentality when one door closes, a better one opens. And that's how you got.
That's the door opening, so we appreciate you. Thank
No,
you.
man, yeah. So I really look forward to seeing Calidad, what's the future has for you guys, and I'd like to go to another one of your shows. So that's why, yeah, keep me updated on that because I really enjoyed the first one I went to. So
So after the song gets released, I would say within a month. Hopefully,
yeah,
maybe we can back after you can see, at least listen to new music.
of course,
Have a,
man. Yeah, yeah. You guys are always welcome back. Yeah.
thank you, brother.
Oh. Yeah. Anything? Last thing you want to say before we close? Anything you guys want to say?
Don't end up on Fifth Bound. We say that at every show.
Do you- Okay.
Have a good time. Just
Yeah.
don't end up on Fifth Bound.
That's funny. Well, Paco, Javi, and Matt, I really appreciate you guys coming on Rhythm and Roads. Thank you for what you guys are doing for El Paso community and just for just your music, just being songwriters and loving what you do. So
Thank you,
really
brother.
appreciate you guys. Yeah.
Thank
Well, go ahead. I don't know, I thought you were going to say something. All right, guys. Well, thank you for watching. We'll catch you guys on the next episode.